All right.
A
Welcome
lot.
to Before the Blow Up.
And
We're here with global entrepreneur, investor, #1 business coach, JT Foxx. Thanks for coming on.
Well, I appreciate it. It's nice to get fresh off the plane straight to you guys. So
Perfect, amazing. So we don't have long. We'll get stuck into it. So JT, we're here to ask. First question is.
I just want to know how you guys got me. That's the whole point.
Yeah?
I think I got me at a weak moment on Instagram, and I was then on a high. And
Honestly-
I was like, how? You know, my people are like, why? Who? What?
Yeah.
You guys
I
look like
can't
you're
believe-
like.
Yeah,
you're
it
just
happened
like,
pretty
like
crazy.
you're like 14 or something like that. I don't know. You're not, which is good. When you're older, you're gonna look younger. So I have no idea. I say no 99% of the time.
Yeah.
But you know, it's nice to see young, ambitious people. I've never stood and watched someone set up a podcast so quickly. We just created our own studio at the hotel, not knowing where anything. So very impressive. So,
Thank you,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know how. I think I just messaged you on Instagram because I heard you say we were at your business seminar, and I heard you say, "Oh, you sometimes reply to people's messages."
yeah,
It was
I mean, I
like-
check every message. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it was. You had me at a moment where, you know, because you get a lot, and then you send me a message, and you know, sometimes I have this moment of weakness, and you know, remember what's it like to be you guys starting off, and knowing the power. Once you have a big guest, it's easier to get the next guest, right?
Yeah,
Because the first
wow.
thing is who you've had. Well, like we haven't had anybody yet, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But you could be the first, and so.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it, and it's nice to see. I wasn't as ambitious and driven to business and succeed when I was you guys' age.
Yeah.
So so it's good to see that you guys got that fire.
Yeah,
No, we
do
appreciate
have
you
a pretty
coming.
unique story between the both of us. Like,
We all have a story. The
Yeah.
problem, everyone you're going to interview has a story, right?
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
more how it's all going to end.
100%.
Right? Everyone, we had no money. We were bullied. I was stuttered. Like everyone, the story is always the same.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
you know, I always say something: start unknown and finish unforgettable.
Far out.
You know, and then, you know, I know a lot of people that have a horrible story and never get out of it. Not all people have a bad story like myself, and we make it. So, but as long as we just keep moving forward and, you know, never quitting, and you know, someone said to me, like, I was in America, so someone came to my country club and had a meeting with me, and they're like, "Do you golf?" I'm like, "Yeah, I drive 375 yards, right? So that's impressive, right?"
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest drivers in my club. But they said, "You play a lot," and I say, "No." They're like, "Why?" Because I don't love it. I like it, but I don't love it. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like I wake up like I need to do this. What I love is business, going deep on issues, the game. And if you treat business like a game, you will succeed. And I think a lot of it, people look at business as a job, you know, and they're like, they don't understand that, you know, you're on in business 24/7, 365. There's not 9 till 5. It's 6 till done.
Yeah,
And the job is
absolutely.
never done. You know, even after this podcast, you know, are you going to edit it? How are you going to edit it? The clips and all these things. It's just never ending.
Yeah,
And there's
absolutely.
always something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So with yourself going deeper, what's been like, and you said about your story, what's been one of the biggest pivotal moments that really like changed your path from the bad story to
Well,
where you
I think
are
your
now?
first deal, in my case, my first property deal was the first one. And I own over 70 companies and brands in 55 countries now. And I've done over 1,000 property deals. But the first deal, right? Because that gives you the confidence.
Yeah.
And I think my first million at 24 was, you know, and often people say, how would you do it again? I don't think you could do it like I did it 13 years ago because the market's changed. Like
100%.
prices are much more expensive.
Yeah.
Everything it's different. Can you make a lot of money in this market? Absolutely. But the way I did it, probably not, but you'd have to put the same work ethic. And then, you know, when I first made, you know, my first speech changed everything because I bombed and I could have just quit, not spoken again. And I got myself a coach. And that was a pivotal moment for me having coaches. Also, too, my first celebrity that I had was just George Ross, Trump's right-hand man, celebrity apprentice judge. And that gave me a lot of credibility.
Yeah.
Because once you had someone like that and you start coaching me, and this is before politics and Donald Trump, right? But he was on the TV show The Apprentice as one of the judge.
Yep.
So you go to people and you're like, he's my coach, or I interviewed him.
Yeah.
I had him in my event, and that's when I sold out. And that's when I learned the power of celebrities being such an important part of the process.
Yeah.
Very important.
So is that part of leveraging their names for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, everyone leverages their
Yeah.
name, right?
Yeah.
The same way Coca-Cola will pay Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
right? They're leveraging off her popularity, and that's what branding is.
Yeah.
You know, just like you guys are leveraging the fact that you had me on your podcast
Yes.
to get other
Yeah.
people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, that's the way the game is now.
Yeah.
The game has very much become that. You know, and people, especially in Australia, some people just don't understand the power of celebrity branding. But take a look at every Super Bowl commercial or every World Cup commercial or just any commercial of anything. It's we've become a society where people have become looked up to influencers or micro influencers or celebrities because it gives credibility.
Yeah.
And you may have a better product, you maybe have a service. Like you could have the greatest podcast in the world, but if nobody listens,
Well, then
you
it
know what I
ain't
mean?
really the
And,
greatest,
and,
is
and by
it?
the way, maybe
Absolutely.
no one will listen to this, but what's going to happen is because of this, then you get bigger and bigger names, and then people kind of listen, and that's how the world goes,
Yeah.
right? If you take a look at Mr. Beast, his videos, Mr. Beast, the
Yeah,
guy who's
yeah.
got
YouTuber, yeah,
280 million YouTube followers, his first videos had no listeners or no viewers,
Yeah.
right? But you have to put that consistencies, and you have to push very, very hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
And how do you generate those connections, and how do you kind of build on those existing relationships that you
Well,
already have?
there's sometimes I always say everyone pays for success. You either pay with time or you pay with money, right? And when you pay with money, you get in and you're in the room. Now it's up to you to do a good job
Make
once
it
you're in the
work.
room in front of the people. But did you make a good impression? Was it a good thing? Did you, and people just assume you must have room that you belong there. And once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And or you can pay with time where you can, hypothetically build an audience, have 1 million listeners, and then call me like, now I want to be on your show. Now, obviously, you guys are super branded and famous, and then there's a benefit to me coming on the show. So that's the same thing with you can take a completely unknown brand, put any celebrity in front of it, and instantly they assume, wow, you have George Clooney as your brand ambassador, you must be somebody.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, well, I don't care about celebrities. You may not care about celebrities, but everybody else does.
Yeah.
Right? And Australia, all they talk about is American celebrities.
Yes,
Take a
that
look,
is
right?
true.
That's just so clearly it matters. And here's the interesting thing: if I go right now in America and I say, name me Australian brands, they can't tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once in a while, they say UGG boots. Sorry, started by an Australian in America, living in America. Not good. Outback Steakhouse. My friend, billionaire founder of Outback Steakhouse, had started the steakhouse, which is Australian theme. Had never been to Australia.
No way.
Far out.
Is that true?
It's true. It's my
That's
friend.
crazy. Far
out.
None
That's
of them had been
insane.
there because they were too busy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Now they
wow.
have 6,000 locations around the world. So, or people say Crocodile Dundee or Steve Irwin.
Yeah. But they're personal brands.
Yes.
How
Correct,
do you-
but that's my point. Like I know what Mount Franklin is. I know your bank's names. I know Testra. Like I know all the brands here because
Yeah.
I'm here probably more often than I'm in America. And a lot of people don't even know that Canva was founded in Australia.
Yeah, I did hear about
Because
that.
of tall poppy syndrome here. Of like, if I talk about myself, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But there's more and more billionaires being created in Australia. A lot of wealth is created in Australia, and I think it's time to celebrate people like yourselves or the successful people here. Richard Branson comes here. Oh my God, they have 5,000 people. I spoke there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then you have an Australian billionaire. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know-
Why do you think that is? Why do you think Australia and America?
I
are so
think it's
different?
culture, right?
Yeah.
Tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, I
You know what
think-
I think it's culture. In America, we're like, we love the underdog story. And then when you become successful, then they want to tear you down. Then they
Yeah.
root for you again and then tear you down. So it's just culture. It's just, and a lot of people, we're concerned about the opinions of people who are never going to buy a product, who are never going to do business with you, who are never going to partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, 100%. And you're talking about brands and that kind of thing. And at your function, you talked about building a personal brand. How do you think we could personally build our brand?
Well, you are right now, right? Because you're like, here, you're two young guys getting very successful people on your show. That's called, branding by credibility. That gives you credibility. 9-figure entrepreneur on your show. That's like, how did you get that?
Yeah.
And, no one starts asking how many people listen. They're just like, wow, you must be somebody.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And the other one is results, right? So just don't say it, prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Take somebody ordinary and then, create extraordinary value. And eventually, to be honest with you, like just on a side, you can keep getting bigger and bigger guests. And then all of a sudden, then like people will pay you on how you built a successful podcast
Yeah.
and how you interview all these people. Like it's you take that expertise and you grow it.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So it really comes down to the expertise in the area and who you know.
It's who knows you.
Who knows you?
It's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's who knows you.
Wow.
Right? It becomes that. But if you're the most persistent person you know, you'll win every time.
Yeah. So consistency.
Well, when I had Tom Brady, I interviewed him in Australia. He says, commitment plus discipline plus action equals success. Tom Brady, the greatest legendary
yeah,
football
yeah,
player
yeah.
in America. Right. So You know, for me, I say preparation plus practice plus visualization equals success. You know,
Yeah.
I'm very prepared. I practice business, which most people don't do. I mean, think about this, right? If it's an AFL or rugby and you don't practice all week and you show up on your match on Saturday or Friday night and you haven't practiced all week, how do you think you're going to do?
Yeah, you'll
Yeah, of
flop.
course.
Right.
Absolutely.
And maybe towards the end you do well and you say this, had I only started well,
Yeah.
But yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then, but you still didn't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
And then they
course.
repeat the same mistake. What's
Yeah.
the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Man, that's powerful stuff. Hey.
Yeah.
It's
I
really
mean,
good.
how do you kind of prepare yourself to do big talks like this and run seminars?
Anytime you do it, I'm sure you guys were pretty nervous to interview me. I could tell by your shaking when we first started. Hey, I
Nah,
could
you didn't
tell
notice that, man.
I notice everything. I notice everything, right? But if you interviewed me 5 times, maybe even 3 times, you wouldn't be nervous anymore.
Yeah.
What we're nervous is the unknown,
Yeah.
right? So anything we do at first is scary. For me, going on stage, the only pressure for me on stage sometimes is sometimes competing other speakers. So sometimes I speak, but sometimes you speak because you have to sell a product because that's ultimately how they pay for the Robert Kiyosaki's or the Richard
Yeah,
Branson.
yeah.
People don't understand. The ticket sales don't cover the venue. Like Australia's the most expensive place in the world to put on events.
Really?
So, oh yeah, by far.
Why's that? Why's that?
I don't know. Why is everything expensive here? A Coke is $4.50 and America is 99 cents.
Yeah.
Now you'll say to me, it's an island. Well, so is Indonesia, and
Yeah.
their Coke is less than $1 too. So, you know, it just I know wages are higher here. Everything is higher. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just the way Australia is.
Yeah.
Just hope that your dollar would be higher for me. It's good
Yeah,
to buy stuff.
absolutely.
But,
Yeah.
but I remember when I came here 10 years ago, it was at 108 to the US dollar.
Wow.
Yeah, 108.
It's what, 65
66.
cents? 66 cents?
Yeah.
Well, unless it went down, I want to
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, yeah.
Depress me.
What do you I mean, I've kind of seen some of your clips and some of the things you do when you interview people, and you sort of get them to talk about other people that they've met, and you name these celebrities that you've talked to, and so
Well, that's just credibility. So
yeah,
like,
of course.
Right, it's like a,
But I kind of want to run a similar thing. So you say you use people to describe people with one word, and so if I was to say Arnold Schwarzenegger, describe him in one word,
Oh, yeah,
what
you
would
saw
you
that
say?
one.
Yeah.
Arnold? Well, there's always, unfortunately, what I did publicly and what happens behind the scenes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so sometimes, like, you'll listen to my podcast and be like, wow, that was really good, that chemistry. And the guy's an a-hole behind the stage or dealing with his people. Yeah. If I actually did a show like that, sometimes the people that, like, for example, people think Charlie Sheen is crazy. Nicest guy you can meet backstage. Very, very, very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So that kind of gives you a perspective of
Wow.
that,
I would not have-
Okay.
yeah.
That's-
So
that's
Arnold,
crazy.
Arnold,
So you're saying are you saying Arnold's
Arnold got mad because we did a picture line and our contract said an hour.
Okay.
And I put like 800 people in an hour, but it was every 3 seconds. But the contract said an hour. It didn't say how many pictures. So,
Oh,
so I
right.
think he got a little mad that there was a lot of people, but the interview was great. But I think what I like Arnold is ambitiously driven. And for him to go from, bodybuilding to real estate investing to Hollywood to governor, so very ambitiously driven. So you have to give him a lot of credit for that. So
okay.
Yeah.
What about 50 Cent?
50 Cent, funny as hell. Like, I wish I should release the whole interview. I know you probably saw my click on
Yeah,
Instagram,
yeah.
right? Funny.
Yeah,
really,
right.
really, really, really cool. We really kind of hit it off. We haven't talked since, so just
He's
different
such a cool dude.
circles.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what I
one of
mean?
my big idols, man. I
Yeah,
love
he's
that
so
guy.
cool.
G
Yeah.
unit. You know? So yeah, he is hilarious. It really, I really enjoyed him too. We both
Yeah.
had the same blingy watches, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
that is a nice watch.
Yeah, it is very nice. Very
sorry,
nice.
it's fake.
Ah.
For the purposes of this interview, it's fake.
Oh, okay. For the purpose of the interview. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll do one more. Tommy Hilfiger.
Probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met. I'd say nicest, but just probably top 3. Him, Branson, and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. So nice.
Yeah.
And, him and I were just texting yesterday, Tommy and I, just a man of just, like, the way he understands fashion. Because most fashion people are pain in the ass. I've had them all. Donna Karan, Calvin Klein. And I've had, Tommy is completely opposite. A lot of fashion people are diva.
Yeah.
So authentic. And it's all about giving. And I asked him a question I'm like, when is enough? And his answer was more.
Far out.
And it has nothing to do with the money. Like, it's to do about the game.
Yeah. It comes back to the game. All right. Last one. Us. You do it every time. I had
mean,
the spin.
I have to give you credit, to make this happen. So I would put if you don't take your shot, which most of the time you'll miss, but you guys just happen to score.
Yeah.
So that's how I would say, and I'm very impressed. And I'm now inviting you to my conference, which
Appreciate
you
that
could
too.
not come.
I don't think I wouldn't turn it
Yeah,
down. I
no.
will be in there,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But my point is, you couldn't come, obviously for financial reasons, because obviously it was very expensive. But you guys came in and had your podcast, so now I'm inviting you. What's the lesson? Had you not showed up or done this, nothing would have happened. So that's kind of how it. If I always say this, if I don't do X, show up here, buy this, attend here, meet this person, what would I have learned? What would I have missed? And what could I have learned? And how would it have changed me? And so hopefully this podcast, and this is the beginning of a relationship that will forever change you, that 10 years down the line, you're talking about the first time you interviewed me, and what did that do to you, to your business?
Yeah, wow.
Appreciate
Oh,
it.
man, we really appreciate you.
We have a...
Is that a mullet?
Yeah, you want to see it?
No, yeah, is that a mullet?
It is.
It is.
Believe it or not, one of my mates, he cuts hair, and he did this in me garage.
Yeah, I could tell. Your hair looks good.
Thanks.
You're
I
good.
came off a
only
flight
in
this
Australia
morning.
could pull the mullets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
think I kind of make it work,
Yes, in your opinion. In your opinion. I don't know how that would work in America, though. But listen, when you're ambitiously driven, you can do whatever you want. So.
Yeah. I don't know how much time you have, but yeah, like we have a gift for you.
Cash is fine, guys. Cash is fine.
I don't know, like you're probably not religious or anything like that, but I mean, we're both Christian. Do what you will with that. We bought you this. I don't know whatever.
It's very risky to give me a Bible with my name on it. You have to understand, right? Because you don't know if I believe in God or not God. So here's a little lesson. Thank you, by the way, for the thing. But you always want to find out before. So it's kind of like giving a Bible to a Jewish person, or a Muslim. Sorry, I'm Islam.
Yeah.
But still, you can put it in your library. But I could tell it's got my name on there, so now I have to keep it. Can't regift it. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that. I read it 3 times, the Bible. So.
Oh, far out.
Yes, I went to Catholic school growing up, and I always tell people, no one picks their religion, right? Did you guys pick your religion?
Not
Oh,
really.
No,
Into
your parents
it.
picked it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just think about it. If you were born in the Middle East, you'd be Muslim.
Yeah.
That's
ever think
quite
about
an
that?
interesting... No, I haven't.
Think
That's
about
an
it. Wherever
interesting
you were born, that's probably what your parents told you.
Yeah.
So I wish maybe there'd be a way where people discover their own path and their own religion and their own thing to be more open
100%.
to different things. I mean, there's 5,000 religions. How do we know ours is right? So I think but the problem is that every parents influence their political views, that's where a lot of racism comes. It comes from the parents' views, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, but I appreciate Thank you so much
Yeah.
for this amazing gift
Yeah,
as
look,
well. This
do it
first Bible I
exactly-
ever got. I can't throw it, it's got my name on it.
Do
Even
what
if I
you
don't.
want with it. It was
I
just
will
thought
bring it home with me in America. Because it'd be bad luck to throw away a Bible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just like the karma on that thing as well.
Yeah.
JT threw the
Bible away.
Bible
It would
out,
go
and now his
viral.
business is down 80%.
It would
Let
go
us pray.
viral.
Our Father, who art in heaven. So thank you so much for this, guys.
No worries.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you
have
so
we have
much.
one closing question.
Sure.
What is the biggest lesson you've learned in your entire life?
Success is not a matter of chance, it's a matter of choice. And the first lesson, and it's in my book on the last chapter, and I want you to listen to my podcast. If you search JT Foxx 2X, you can listen to the podcast. Like everyone I interview, I now do business with them. And my first business partner was the first advice I ever got. Stop talking about it and get it done.
Yeah.
Right? Let's look, I'm going to do this. Going to shut up and do it.
Yep.
Let's
Just
go and
do
shut
it.
up and do it. I like that.
Perfect.
Should do that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
JT.
it. All right. So that was podcast with JT Foxx. It's a bit of a shorter one, but
And
that
was before the blow up.
he's a very busy man, and mate, that was unreal. I feel like I don't know, that was sick.
Yeah, that was amazing. Let's go sit in that meeting.
No, we had mate, it's been a roller coaster today, you know. Like considering
been a
I
roller
booked the
coaster.
wrong flight to get here, and so then I turned up. Oh, I booked the right flight, but then I turned up to the wrong airport,
He's a geezer, man.
and then so then I had to get another flight, and then my bags was too heavy, and oh my goodness, it's been a rigmarole, but
But we
got
made
here.
it happen.
We
So
made it
let's go.
happen. I appreciate everyone that's listening. Like and subscribe.
And hallelujah, amen for this happening.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Bye.